Good morning, team. Thank you for joining me. One of my goals with every Yancy's Daily Dose of Awesome is to put a smile on your face. So, I woke up and I threw on my Rolling Stones Hot Licks socks this morning, and I said, it's a little chilly out here, not bad. I said, I gotta make sure I can show them off. Hopefully make a few of you smile. So, great message today. It's one we've kicked out before, but I'm gonna put a little different spin on it. Do people like when you are in the room with them? Do people like when you are on the team? That's the big question today. We're gonna get real with that question today. And a little truth serum. You know, it's always good to put ourselves on the truth serum. I definitely have a few things that I'm working on in this area. So we're gonna talk about it. The workout, 5 exercises, 2 minutes each exercise, and we're gonna go for, I want you counting your reps, just as a way to motivate you to push hard today. So 10 minutes of work. We're gonna do a basic warm-up here. We're just getting some side-to-side squat jumps. I wanna get some arms, give me some big arm swings, so we really get all the muscle groups working here. Right now, everything's working. Working all my joints. We're gonna get some elbow butterflies, get the heart rate up a little bit. As the heart rate raises up, we get oxygenated blood flowing through the working muscles here. The muscle temperature actually warms up some too. Less chance of injury as we really start to drop the hammer. If it's a little chilly outside, it's even more important. Good stuff. Do people like when you're in the room? Do people like when you are on the team? Okay, grab your weight. I'm gonna go with my 33-pound Ram. Use your box squat for these. We're starting with 2 minutes of squats. If you're a little new to squatting, okay, I want you to use a box. I have my 14-inch box here, so you have your weight. What this does is give you a little bit of security. Right there, okay? This puts my hip crease just about at or below my knee, which is where we want to be. So even if you're a veteran with squats, the box squat can be nice to really work on the form, and again, just give you that sense of security. All right. So I'm gonna go with my 33-pound Ram. Again, we're going for 2 minutes. It's gonna hurt. And here we go. So I like to put my toes on a straight line. Keeps me nice and symmetrical. Oh, I just got sprayed by the Polaris. From the side. Hip crease at or below the knee. We're looking for a nice neutral spine. We're just stacking those vertebrae. All right. So I personally believe it's a good plan to periodically ask yourself, how am I perceived by the team? Oftentimes we'll get in trouble in our own mind where we're constantly critiquing other people and we fail to critique ourselves. We look at other people that might be a little harmful, for lack of better terms, to the team. And when ultimately, we should constantly be working on ourselves. You being a great version of yourself when you step into the room, when you step onto the team, when you step into any situation, when you're around other people socially, interacting in business or whatever, has a direct impact on influencing others. When they see you doing something the way that they'd like to do it that way, they're gonna be a little better version. They're gonna. A lot of people try to up their game, improve their game when they're around you. So don't be all about critiquing them, try to fix them. Fix yourself, and you're gonna be like you're coaching. You are influencing people to be better. I think the greatest example, and one of the reasons I'm bringing this back up today, because of Tom Brady. just won his 7th Super Bowl, was in his 10th Super Bowl, came to a brand new team this year, and everybody you talk to is like, man, I was better. The leadership was amazing. Okay, weight down, side to side squat jump. Gonna get the heart rate up here. This is my mark right here. For 2 minutes, I'm gonna get this foot, it's gonna go to the mark. This foot's gonna go to the mark. You may be able to just step through. That's perfectly okay, but if you can, let's get moving. Let's get those shoulders going. Same thing we did in the warm-up, we're just getting a little more aggressive. So, selfish players, we're less selfish. A few weeks after Tom Brady got there, all of a sudden they were less selfish. They were more about team. J.J. Burden said in our podcast last week, our Spartan of Deca Series podcast, there better be an I in team because you and I have a big responsibility. We have to get our you-know-what straight to serve the team. So you better get you or I right. So Tom put a big influence. You heard their head coach last night, Bruce Arians, in the post-game interview up on the big stage, holding the Vince Lombardi trophy. He said, I feel like I didn't have to do a whole lot. Of course he did, but Tom came in and just made huge impact. Tom's a great leader. You do not go to 10 Super Bowls as the leader of the team, the quarterback, without being a great leader. Not debatable. People like playing for Tom. People have taken less money to play for Tom, play with Tom. Okay? Very, very important. So I'm working on it. I want to be the person that people say, gosh dang man, I love Yancy's energy. I love the ability. I love that he doesn't over-critique me. And this is stuff I'm working on. I'm not saying I'm perfect in any of this. He sees my faults, my flaws for what they are, and he takes a productive approach to help improve me by presenting the great example himself to lift the room, lift people up. That's the message. Went a little long there. Okay, hip rotations. We're going to stay nice and square. We're going to rotate back and forward. Keeping our shoulders pretty square. Open that hip up, bring it back in. Oh yeah, that's going to leave you a little sore tomorrow. Give me that knee. If you can, I want that knee to come up where the thigh gets above parallel as we swim it through. I have my high school athletes do this. Whoa! So that's the message today. It's a good, clean message. So my challenge to you is, how are you doing in this area? I'm trying to improve in this area. I'm not good at a lot, but I always try to bring energy. I don't want anybody, after they hang out with me for a while, to say I did not enjoy that experience. That doesn't mean I have to be a kiss ass. Sorry for the foul language if you have any kiddos watching. I think every now and then, throw it at them direct. I don't want to be a kiss ass. I even want to be direct, but always put the word gracious in front of direct. I'm a firm believer, as long as you do things graciously, you can get away with leading with in some cases you have to be aggressive. You have to be very direct, but gracious can always be in the front of those. I don't know Tom Brady personally, but I have a feeling that people are very comfortable being themselves. They feel like it's a family, okay? And Tom does, that's 2 minutes, just like that. Okay, we're going to halos. Grab your stone, your weight plate. Okay, I'll start with a weight plate here. So we're going around the head for 2, and then 2 the other direction. Okay, keep those going. If you have your stone, same thing, your dumbbell. Don't smack yourself in the head. Okay, I'll move on to my ram. But here's the deal, people like being in that locker room. They get excited for practice, okay? If halos are new to you, I want you to keep your rotation nice and tight, okay? I don't want you to get aggressive like you see me getting here. If you've been doing halos with me for a while, and you know your shoulder health is good, let's get a little aggressive then. I love this exercise. Really and truly, there's a lot of balance and coordination and full body strength training. There is some trunk hip rotation, a little bit of a rotational balancing back and forth with the lower body. Weighted burpees will be next. I'm going to do a quick time check here. About 40 seconds with our halos. So there are plenty of players that I'm guessing that weren't good leaders, weren't good followers. Very important. If you're not in a situation of leading, be a good follower. That is being a good leader. Be a good follower sometimes. I'm a firm believer that let's just say I'd be willing to bet that there are people that weren't good leaders and followers when they first started playing with Tom, but they left the situation better off. Okay, we're gonna bring up the 45 pound. We have weighted burpees now. My core is so sore right now from training with the high schoolers on Saturday and hill sprints with my daughter on Sunday. The youth keeping me in shape. So I'm a firm believer that, or I'll step out on a limb and say, you may not be that smart, you may not be that talented, you know, you didn't graduate from the Ivy League school. Tom Brady, you're at a 5'2", 840 and a 40-yard dash. Not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but from the chin up, you have a great attitude, and you are a great leader and a great follower when you need to follow. You bring the type of energy that people like, that people gravitate towards, and there is so much good that will come with that. You will find yourself rising to the top somewhat. And I'll tell you right now, if people like being around you in whatever workforce you're in, work environment you're in, club, group, team environment you're in, you're gonna rise to the top somewhat, okay? Because that is needed. To win, you must have that, okay? That is not debatable. We're gonna get 5 more reps, that's one. Gonna put us a little over 2 minutes of burpees, and that's okay. 2, we have 3 more. Come on. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, we did introduce the new exercise today, the hip rotations, where we go back and forward, back and forward. If you have a little hip soreness tomorrow, that'll probably be the reason why. But again, thank you for joining me. Watching Tom Brady in his 10th Super Bowl last night win his 7th was what inspired it. Nothing perfect about him. I don't know him, but I can guarantee there's nothing perfect about him. But in the film room, during training, on the practice field, in the locker room and pregame and halftime, out there on the field, on the sideline, and just with social events when it's just the team getting together, I can almost guarantee you that people like having Tom Brady on their team. And that is one of the greatest qualities of being a great leader. If people do not like being around you, lots of people, that's not a good thing. If you find yourself constantly critiquing others and seeing what they're doing wrong, you're spinning your wheels. Back up, focus on yourself, get yourself right. Don't ever expect everybody around you to be perfect. You're never going to be, so don't expect the same from them. Be the best version of yourself. And when you're constantly hitting that pause button and say, wait a second, I'm going to be better today. I'm going to be better in this moment that I'm walking into, this situation, this issue, whatever it is. Argument with the family. The kids are being crazy. You and your wife having an argument. You and your husband having an argument. The team is in a hot situation. it's tough, it's challenging. No matter the situation, you stand tall, you respect the team, you love on them, you serve them, you give everything you have to be the best version of yourself. Remind yourself of that. You are going to rise to the top at some form or fashion because people are going to love having you on the team. From Yancy's backyard, live, love, laugh, and serve big with big focus on the serve. Do everything you can do to light up the planet today. Keep climbing, no whining. Don't hate. Graciously communicate. Let's go.